So welcome, it's lovely to see you. Tell us who you are, what subject you're studying and where.
My name's Eryl. I'm at Warwick University. I'm studying computer science. I'm just starting my second year now.
And what subjects did you do at Sixth Form College?
I studied maths, computer science and physics.
Did you always know you wanted to do computer science? Was it always an interest of yours? Tell us about that.
It's why I took it at A-level. It wasn't something that was on offer at all in my secondary school. But I had an IT teacher who encouraged me all the way, told me I should try and do it, and he'd take me aside. He'd show me little bits of stuff I could be doing independently, and I always enjoyed it. It was when I was much younger, I just sort of found it amazing that computers did what computers do. It kept my interest ever since then.
That's really cool. And so presumably you were very good at maths when you were with us.
I took maths, I got an A in it. It's something I wish I'd worked harder on now that I've started my course, because there is a lot of maths. Whilst my computer science A-level was very useful as well, maths would have been, especially further maths, it would have been very useful to me last year and this year and the year after. So
you found yourself having to cover some of the content from that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of crossover with A-level maths, but there's a huge crossover with further maths. And then there's a bit of a crossover with A-level computer science as well, but the bigger crossover comes with further maths. And fortunately made a lot of friends that did take further maths, and they've been able to help me throughout my degree, my first year. You're taking a computer science degree, you figure computer science would be the most useful A-level to take for it. In many cases it is, it has been helpful. I would have been struggling a lot if I hadn't taken computer science. As in, I think you kind of want to have either taken computer science or further maths, or both being the best.
And then what was your third A-level?
Physics.
And how did you find that when you were here? Was that something you enjoyed always, or tell us about that?
All right. Yeah, I really enjoyed physics. I enjoy learning how stuff around me works. I like knowing how my microwave works and how long the kettle's going to take to boil and why. I mean, I don't do those maths on a daily basis, but I like to know why it's doing it. It's sort of fundamental way the world works. And
I like that description. That would be a good personal statement. It was when I was watching a kettle boil and I started working there. At what point did you know you were going to be quite bright and be applying to somewhere like Warwick?
I mean, I always did well in school. In my secondary school, I was one of the top. I was one of our top 10 students after GCSE, I think. I think Hereford, it humbled me slightly, because you have this huge collection of so many people from different schools. I realised I probably wasn't the best of the best of the best of the best, but I was pretty good. Yeah, I always had ambitions to get into a good university. I mean, it was my first choice. I've made it here, and
you did do brilliantly. I mean, seriously, very impressive. Well, how did you decide upon the universities you did apply for?
The way I saw it, I didn't apply for Oxbridge at all. I think both Oxford and Cambridge, they both asked for further maths, and I was too late before I realised that. It's probably to degree my A-levels before I realised that. It's something I should have looked at earlier, really. No, I visited a few with my parents, and I think the college arranged for some trips to universities nearby. I remember there was a bus down to Cardiff University, I think, because it is important. I think visiting them is one of the things you can do, because realistically the universities, they all swap places in rankings every year. You just have to have a good feeling about somewhere. Sometimes it's very difficult to sort of objectively decide that university is better than that university because of this factor. It's more just sort of, I like it here. It feels right here. And also looking at the courses is one of the best things, I think. I picked Warwick over a lot of other universities because of the way they structure their courses. There's a lot more optional modules you can take compared to some other universities, which have you're taking this module, this module, and this module this year, and then next year taking this, this, and this. Normally they give you more and more options as you go on into your degree.
So tell us, how did the first year start and how does the course work?
So my first year, I think I had 8 modules in total. And 6 of those were compulsory modules that I had to take, and 2 of them were optional modules. And the university is quite good. It sort of facilitates you taking other modules from the maths department or stats or business or anywhere like that. Other departments, you can take a module from most departments. Philosophy, even, there's a lot of philosophy modules that they recommend. Philosophy and psychology, and philosophy for the ethics of computer science, and psychology for brainwashing people with your adverts. I don't know. This year I decided to take a French module, which I'm excited for, because I feel like I want to learn a language.
Yeah, that is actually a question I get asked a lot, as to whether you can do different modules and options and whether you can do languages. And I think that's really useful for students to know that there is actually that flexibility with the course. What has been your favourite topic that you have studied so far?
I really enjoyed, last year we had a programming module. We had 2 maths modules, a programming module, one on sort of data structures, as it was called, which was very much a programming module again. For me, I found the maths very difficult and I didn't enjoy it a whole lot because I hadn't done too much of it before. I need to learn it, and once I learn it, I know I'll enjoy it, but it is difficult and I really have to apply myself to it. Whereas the programming module, I did a bit of programming. So the most computer science courses, they teach you as if you've never touched a computer before. Yeah, so the module was very easy for me. It was easy and it was fun because the kind of coursework they set is very self-guided. So they sort of work out how to do this, and then you just sort of do it however you choose to do it. And having done programming at computer science A level and a bit of my own time as well, it was fun to be able to do my own thing.
Yeah, that does sound like a lot of fun, but it also is hard insofar as getting that maths pinned down, particularly if it's not something you have done. So I imagine the people who've done kind of further maths and maths without the computer science would find the opposite a struggle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What I was saying before about I wouldn't want to have not done further maths or computer science. Because I did computer science, I felt very comfortable with more computer science, more programming, Boolean maths, true or false maths. I felt very much more comfortable with than a lot of my friends who'd only done further maths, and they were fine with the maths. They found it so easy.
Now, what would you say to someone who hadn't heard of computer science? Why would you study computer science? What's so great about it?
I've always enjoyed puzzles, like solving problems, and in reality, that's what computer science is. You're just solving problems. Knowing what I know a computer can do, how can I instruct the computer to solve this problem I want it to solve? And when you are programming, it's really satisfying. You get a lot of errors. You try and make it work. You try and compile the code and run it, and it just goes, no, I don't want to. And you just it throws error messages at you, and eventually you whittle them away one by one. And that when you run it and everything works and nothing crashes, or it's just so satisfying.
That is fascinating, and it's been so helpful. So thank you so much for your insights, Eryl. That was great.